Been waiting for the chance to work this metal for as long as I can. Yeah, I bet you have. It's a good job we didn't give him wood. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. I'm sorry, what? I didn't ask for that. Yeah, he's dead. Every achievement, that's what I like to see.
Welcome, everyone. As always, we're going to be unlocking every achievement, working our way through every Final Fantasy in the Pixel remaster, continuing our journey with Final Fantasy II. Let's get into it. Reaching the second of the remasters, I was curious to see how the series evolves. The game makes some changes over its predecessor, some good and some bad. Final Fantasy II brings more to the table in terms of story and identity. It feels more guided with a purpose, although still very familiar. This touches on rebellion against an empire and our motivations for doing so. The class system is its biggest flaw though. While having versatility with any character in their role, it has a counterproductive progression system, which can take away overall enjoyment from its combat. Despite this, it's another enjoyable and familiar Final Fantasy experience. With all that said, it's time to tackle the achievements, which brings us to step 1. So, step 1. This is another fairly short and sweet completion, ranging from 15 to 20 hours. A little bit longer than the first, but not by much, and with the boosters making a return, this cuts down the difficulty and completion time significantly. Unfortunately, this is where we start to see the dreaded missables, which come in the form of treasures, the bestiary, and a newly added former collectible, the passwords. Although having a guide handy and making multiple saves can prevent another playthrough, the missables aren't too painful in this one, it's just something to be aware of. For now though, we name our characters accordingly and start our next adventure of the series. Immediately, we are thrown into an empire power-hungry for world conquest. After having our parents killed, our joyful characters flee straight into the arms of the empire, and we are thrown into battle.
That went well.
Unfortunately, we died and that's game over, until we are revived with a phoenix down, and find ourselves yet again in a kingdom met with a rebellion queen. After joining the rebellion, the queen, as usual, asks us of a task.
How do we get out of here? My god, you'd think this is the first time I've ever played a video game.
So we venture forward, leaving the village. After a few paces, we get our first random encounter, introduced to the familiar turn-based combat and the new leveling system, or lack of.
Okay, leveling up is weird in this.
With little understanding of how to level up, we continue forward, being sent on an infiltration mission, defeating monsters to add to the bestiary and picking up treasures along the way. After arriving in Fynn with plans to liberate the area, we meet Prince Scott, who, on his deathbed, also asks us of a task.
My name is Scott, what a terrible name. I'm afraid I must ask a favour of you. Tell Hilda that I love her. Oh, okay, it's actually getting quite, emotional. No, don't deliver the last message, right, okay. My brother, achievement. Have you heard of him? Wait, what the fuck? He seems alright, he just got out of bed. I thought he was dying. Maybe it's all this talking, but I've grown extremely tired. Holy shit, it's me. If you'll excuse me, I just need to rest just for a little while. That is me. Oh, he's dead.
Having to go back the way we came, we speak to the Queen and inform her of Scott's death, delivering his message.
Here, I'm gonna show her my ring. Yeah, he's alive. He's definitely alive.
When all is said and done, this unlocks our first achievement of the game.
Oh! Got ourselves a first achievement.
Yay! With our first assignment over, we are now tasked with finding some mithril. Being ill-equipped to fight the Empire, this apparently is our best chance of survival. So with a new key item and party member, we head out yet again.
Min Woo, you obtained a canoe. Min Woo and his bloody canoe.
Venturing forward, it's not long before we hit a random encounter and unlock our next achievement. Like the Final Fantasy before us, this achievement list is pretty much a carbon copy. It's very basic and linear, not offering much in terms of variety. Just make sure to keep a guide handy for those missables. Gently rowing our boat towards the mine in seek of mithril, we do actually find some treasure containing Gil. Hitting the 10,000 milestone unlocks our next achievement. Progressing through the cave and fighting numerous monsters within the area, we also fill 10% of the bestiary. Making it through the cave and within touching distance of the mithril, we are halted for a mini-boss battle with a general.
Mithril blade straight into it. Well, I've got a mithril cock and it's going up your ass. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. That was a bit weird.
With auto battle as usual doing the hard work for us, we finish the dungeon being rewarded with some mithril. We head to a blacksmith as excited as us to forge gear with this pretty rock.
Oh my god, it's Albert Einstein. I've been waiting for the chance to work this metal for as long as I can. Yeah, I bet you have, you dirty bastard. It's a good job we didn't give him wood.
Feeling pretty good about ourselves knowing we can take on the Empire already, it's not long before we have a cutscene showing us some home truths with the Emperor's tyranny. On a positive note, we do unlock our next story-related achievement. Despite the shock of mass slaughter within the world, we cheer ourselves up with some treasure hunting, opening 10% of the chest so far for another achievement. And now it's time to get some vengeance on the Empire. We head out on an espionage mission to sabotage the Emperor's ship. On our way though, we unlock a couple of achievements which go hand in hand. one for defeating 300 monsters and another for acquiring 50,000 gil.
Oh, there we go, an achievement again.
Onto the Emperor's airship now. We find ourselves sneaking through this linear section.
Oh, I see how it is. Cock block. Oh. I should probably think before I speak.
Reaching the end and sabotaging the ship's engines initiates our escape sequence. Making it out alive and destroying the Dreadnought unlocks our next story-related achievement. With our counter-attack done, work is far from over, and the Rebellion has, as you can guess, another request for us.
One last request. Yeah, of course you do. Gordon, you've grown so big. I want you to lead our army. Gordon? Fuck Gordon, man. I'm the fucking main protagonist. What? You can't have a fucking leader called Gordon.
With our task set and the King's final words to seek out the Ultimatome,
Oh, he's dead. GG's.
we set out yet again on our journey in search of the magic to fight back against the Empire. But first we will need a ship, which brings us to a run-in with some pirates. Oddly, very friendly, they agreed to let us use the boat. Predictably, once we set sail, they ambush us. With a quick and easy auto battle over with, we have a new party member join the crew and acquire our ship, the Black Pearl.
I'm sorry, it's such a pretty boat.
Acquiring the ship unlocks our next achievement. It's not long before we pop our next one. Sailing to shore, we pass through a desert, running into random encounters and making money in the process. At this point, we accumulate 100,000 gil.
Oh.
Again, with the achievement list for the Pixel remasters being fairly basic and linear, not offering much in terms of variety or difficulty, we continue our story as it is, doing the usual checklisting with the bestiary.
Sea snake. I got a sea snake for you. Alright, that's missable. Nice, we need that.
Keeping up to date with the entries, we arrive at our next destination, greeted by a welcoming child.
Go away, don't come any closer. Fucking hell, I'm not a pedo. I'm gonna tell my mum. Look, I don't want to touch you.
We progress through this linear castle, raking in the treasures and keeping an eye on our missables, while continuing our search for the Ultimatome. Making it through this short section, we run into the kid's mum.
Oh, he's with his mum. Let me guess. He's gonna accuse me of touching him.
She explains a Wyvern has something to tell us that can help our search for the Ultimatome. Unfortunately, we can't speak Wyvern, so typically we have to head out on the runaround in search of a pendant that can help us understand the lingo. We hastily recover the pendant and head back to a dying Wyvern. It entrusts us an egg to hatch in the spring. We do so, creating a symbolic meaning of hope within the game. As touching as it is, we head back to our base and report to the Queen, while discovering something isn't quite right with her.
Holy hell. Let's just sling her the long one, I say.
Finding out the Queen is an imposter all along, we give her a quick slap and venture on another journey of rescuing the real Queen. Which brings us to our next simplistic achievement for killing 500 monsters. With the Queen rescued from jail, it's time for retaliation.
Deserve credit for destroying the Dreadnought. Yes, I do. Is it blowjobs all round, or what?
We are tasked with an assault to take back our castle and are met with the Emperor's commander.
Alright, this will be an auto battle GG's.
Another quick auto battle later, and we unlock a couple of achievements. One for filling 50% of the bestiary, and the other is a story-related achievement for reclaiming the castle. With the town liberated, we continue our quest in search of the Ultimatome, in hope of acquiring the magic to put an end to the rebellion. We reach our next destination of the game, continuing to mop up the bestiary and treasures along the way, of course. And clearing out the chests in this dungeon unlocks our next achievement for opening 50% of them. We quickly find respite from the dungeon with an odd tribe.
Oh my god, they look weird. Where you coming from? Jesus.
Not wanting to stick around, we continue forward, eventually finding the crystal rod that will help us access the Ultimatome.
Ah, crystal rod. Yes, we Canada.
With the means to obtaining the Ultima magic in our hands, we finally make our way to Mysidian Tower to acquire it. Although it's never as easy as it seems.
No! Oh shit. I wasn't meant to do this. Ah, fuck. I was meant to save the game. I'm a fucking idiot.
Forgetting to save, but luckily having not missed anything up to this point, we are swallowed by a Leviathan inches away from our destination. We just have to keep on keeping on, finding ourselves in the belly of a beast, and with a party member missing, we have to find her and escape. But first things first, and more importantly, we unlock our next achievement for having a character with similar intentions join our party.
The Dragoon, Ricardo Shilly Shally, joins the party.
We make it back to the boat and somehow sail out of here, also forgetting about a missing party member because we have a cool Dragoon to replace her. Sailing back to Mysidian Tower once again for the Ultima magic, we finally make our way up the tower, discovering a perfect opportunity for our next achievement. With the level system being kinda flawed in this game, we take advantage of it and damage ourselves within the lava, continuously using healing magic to level the spell up. With a few minutes of grinding, we max the magic level, unlocking the achievement. Reaching the top of the tower, we finally acquire the ultimate magic, ready to face off against the Emperor. However, we have a few things to do first, making our way back to the Wyvern Egg and witnessing it hatch. Also reuniting it with Ricard, the last surviving Dragoon, unlocks our next achievement. With Wyvern and Dragoon reunited, we can finally take on the Emperor.
I shall kill you personally. Alright, let's go, buddy boy. The Emperor actually looks really cool here.
With a quick and easy auto battle, the Emperor is defeated and we can now celebrate having restored peace to the world. Unfortunately, this lasts about 2 minutes. In true Final Fantasy fashion, our fourth character, who is presumed dead at the start of the game, makes an appearance off screen. Now a Dark Knight, Leon seizes the throne for himself. The bright side of this is though, we unlock our next story-related achievement. Having finding ourselves faced with another evil, we head to the new Emperor's castle for a showdown with an old friend. Although it turns out there's no battle this time and our buddy has a change of heart. Unfortunately, the original Emperor emerges, bringing hell with him.
Oh shit, the music.
With a quick sacrifice from the last Dragoon, we make a quick escape, resulting in Leon changing sides again, and joining the party, unlocking our next story-related achievement. Immediately after, and before facing the final dungeon to finish the never-ending story, there's a few side activities we need to mop up, starting with learning all the passwords. This is a missable achievement, with 3 of the passwords being missable themselves. It's now time for a staple in the series, the iconic ultimate weapon. This is very simple and literally just a case of speaking to someone. In turn, we receive the iconic Excalibur for our next achievement. We are then back to mopping up and collecting treasures, also keeping up to date with the bestiary, making sure we have everything up to this point. Also, killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. We equip an underpowered weapon and repeatedly attack a high-level enemy, boosting our weapon class to max rank in the process, unlocking another achievement. With everything wrapped up to this point, it's finally time to face the endgame dungeon, and see the story to its conclusion. Making our way to the final area of the game unlocks our next achievement for visiting every map location. With just 3 achievements left, 1 for finishing the story, the remaining 2 are for the collectibles. We're tasked in this area of finding the rarest entry of the bestiary, the Iron Giant.
I am getting sick of fighting 27 cocks. Just, can we please find the fucking enemy?
This enemy can be monotonous to find, but shouldn't take you longer than an hour, and in the grand scheme of things is pretty tame compared to the later entries.
Oh, the ultra rare Iron Giant. Look at the shoulders on him.
With the Iron Giant added to the bestiary and being in touching distance of the completion, we finish off a collectible achievement for the treasures. Although missable, luckily we have been tracking them all up to this point. It's finally time to face the last boss and wrap up the story.
You have braved the bowels. That's not what I like to hear. Oh, I don't think I healed actually.
Being substantially over-leveled, the final boss doesn't cause us much issue at this point, but with him defeated, that closes out the story and brings home the completion, unlocking a story-related achievement and also finishing off the bestiary too.
Yeah boy, 100% bestiary entries. Now we just got 1 achievement left to go, which we should have, but we just got to watch the rest of the cutscenes. And that's game done. Second one of the 6th. 2 down, 4 to go.
And that's every achievement in Final Fantasy II. Similar to the first one, with a slightly longer completion and a few added missables this time round, but a fairly enjoyable experience overall. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you all in the next one.